Hello, welcome to Mythos History. I am your narrator. I'm sure many of you are parents, and I'm sure that you are familiar with the phenomenon of the imaginary friend. But what if this friend wasn't a figment of your child's imagination? What if they were real and something almost beyond your comprehension? Lisa puts down the box on the kitchen table. She rubs her lower back and looks around. The farmhouse was far different than the cityscape she had been born and raised in. She was still adjusting to her new surroundings. Out here there was no traffic, the rhythmic pounding of jackhammers, the white noise of a massive number of humans going about their business. Out here was just wind, crickets, and the occasional frog. Lisa walks outside and watches her daughter Cindy play at the large oak tree. Cindy looks up and waves. Lisa fell in love with her daughter the moment she saw her, with her brown eyes and light brown hair. How fast time flew. It seemed just like yesterday when she first held her daughter in the delivery room. Now her daughter would be in middle school in a couple years. Lisa waves back. Let me finish up and we'll get some pizza. Okay, Mommy. Lisa walks back inside. She puts her hands on the table and sighs. This move was for the greater good, she thinks. She thought this thought over and over. In a sense, it became her mantra lately. Lisa looks out the window at Cindy. She was now safe. She was happy. Whatever it took, Lisa would do to keep it that way for as long as possible. Fuck it, Lisa thought. We're getting some pizza now. She walks outside and looks at Cindy. Let's go, pizza monster. Better walk faster. I will leave you, Lisa teased. Lisa hurries up and hops in the car and starts it. Cindy squeals and runs towards the car. No, she screamed. Cindy gets in and Lisa looks back. Just made it. Buckle up. Pizza, Cindy yells. Hawaiian pizza, yells Lisa. Ew, no. Lisa smiles as she backs down the long gravel driveway. 2 months pass. Cindy started the school year and Lisa found work at the local grocery store. It didn't take long before they fell into a smooth routine. They would wake up, have breakfast, Lisa would drive Cindy to school, then work, then dinner, homework, and sleep. One day, the school bus pulls up. Cindy runs out the door and down the driveway. She throws open the front door. Close the door. Mom, close the door. Cindy spins back around, slams the door, and runs into the kitchen where Lisa is folding laundry. I said close, not slam. Mom, look, Cindy says, waving a piece of paper around. Let me see that, Lisa says, taking the paper. Oh my God, you got an A on your test. Good for you. I told you the extra study time would pay off. Cindy smiles and puts an arm on one of the chairs. I think I should have a cookie. Do you now? Lisa answers, raising an eyebrow. Yep, sure do. Lisa bends over and kisses her daughter on the forehead. Then she raises one finger. 1. You can have 1. Cindy runs into the cabinet and takes out a package of cookies. She takes one cookie out of the package, and then she puts that package back in the cabinet and slams the door shut, and then runs out of the room. Lisa tilts her head back and sighs. That kid is going to knock every door in this house off the hinges, she thinks. Hours later, after Cindy goes to bed, Lisa sits down and turns on the TV. As the light from the TV flips on, She leans back with her glass of wine. A man is standing in front of the map of the local area. Severe weather warning has been issued. We can accept heavy rain and high winds. We are also experiencing severe lightning. If at possible, stay inside. The TV and lights go out, casting the farmhouse into darkness. There is a flash of bright light, followed by thunder so loud it shook the house. Lisa gets up and walks to the window. The lightning strikes become more intense. Lisa had never seen lightning act like this before. The wind picks up and slams into the house with such force, Lisa jumps back from the window. The lightning strikes now seem to linger when they should have normally disappeared. The color of them changed to a weird purple. The house fills with the eerie, strobing light. As Lisa stands in the room, it felt like time stopped for a second. She couldn't explain it, but she felt that something was very off with the storm. The weird purplish lightning strikes stopped instantly. Just like that, it was over, replaced by rain. The lights in the TV come back on. Uneasy, Lisa finishes her wine and heads upstairs and goes to bed. Lisa is in the kitchen making breakfast. Cindy runs in and sits on one of the chairs. "Morning, Mommy." "Morning, sweetheart." "What's for breakfast?" Cindy asked. "It's Saturday." "Pancake Saturday." "Yeah!" Cindy exclaims. Lisa smiles and brings 2 plates of the pancakes to the table. She goes to sit down next to her daughter, but is stopped. "No, Mommy. Mr. Squigglyarms is sitting there." Lisa smiles and tilts her head. "Who is Mr. Squigglyarms?" "He is my new friend." "Oh, I see," Lisa says as she puts a plate in front of Cindy and sits down on the other side of the table. As Lisa pours the syrup, she asks, "So, tell me about Mr. Squigglyarms. Seems such a formal name for a friend." "That's just what I call him. I can't really pronounce his real name." "Really? Why?" "It's too hard." "So why Mr. Squigglyarms?" "That's just what he looks like," Cindy answers before she stuffs her mouth with syrup-covered pancakes. "So how did you 2 meet?" Lisa asked while resting her head on her hand. "Last night, I dreamed of him, and when I woke up, there he was. Neat, huh?" "Yeah, neat," Lisa answers, remembering the thunderstorm the night before. Cindy smiles at her mom as she finishes her breakfast. Fall comes, and Lisa had a day off and was catching up on some house chores. The phone rings. Lisa picks it up. "Hello? Is this Lisa Thompson?" "Lisa Wilson," Lisa corrects. "I apologize. I'm Tobias James, Cindy's teacher." "Oh, yes. Is everything okay?" "Yes, everything is fine. I just wanted to talk to you." "Okay." "Has Cindy talked to you about her imaginary friend, Mr. Squigglyarms?" "Some, yes." Lisa had an uneasy feeling all of a sudden. Children have an active imagination. Most of the time, imaginary friends are no big deal, but Cindy has shown some unusual behavior. "Like what?" Lisa asked. "She rarely plays with the other kids. She spends a lot of time looking up to the sky talking." "To who?" "Mr. Squigglyarms." "I'm sure it's just a phase. Cindy has been through a lot this year." "True. However, the pictures she draws during art class are somewhat disturbing." "What pictures is she drawing?" Lisa asked. "All of them have a large black creature in them. Cindy has an active imagination." The creature shown tearing up galaxies and planets. "I see no problem with this. It's not like she's doing real-life horror. It's all fantasy." "In this climate, we can't take any chances. If we see a child showing unorthodox behavior, we need to investigate and make sure that everything is all right." "What do you mean?" Lisa asked. We have contacted Child Services. They are sending over a caseworker to have a visit. You did what? Lisa says, raising her voice. It's this procedure. I'm sure everything will be fine. You reported my daughter to Children's Services and then have the audacity to tell me everything will be fine? Fuck you. Lisa hangs up and tosses the cordless phone across the room. Later that day, Cindy is walking up the driveway. Lisa sitting on the steps on the front porch. Hey, Mommy. Hey, sweetheart. Come here. Lisa pats the swing chair next to her. Cindy sits down. I got a call from school today. About what? Have you been drawing pictures of a creature? No. Cindy. I don't draw pictures of creatures. This Mr. Squigglyarms. Why? He's my friend. Let me see. I don't have any. Then Cindy's eyes light up. I could draw one now. I would like that. Cindy gets up and goes across the porch. Don't look, Mom. Okay, I'll stay over here. Cindy lays down, pulls out a piece of paper and crayons and starts drawing. 20 minutes later, she comes back and gives her drawing to Lisa. The picture was all black, save for two cartoon eyes in the upper left corner. This is Mr. Squigglyarms? Yep, Cindy answers excitedly. Where are you? Here, Cindy says, pointing to the lower right corner. There is a very small white dot. That's not you. Kinda. It's our universe. What? But Mr. Squigglyarms sits next to you at dinner. How could he fit if he's so big? Just part of one of his arms sits there, silly. When he comes, only a slightly larger part will be able to fit here. Mr. Squigglyarms is coming here? Lisa asked. Yep. Soon. Why? Cindy looks around and leans over to whisper to her mom's ear. To fight. He's going to save us. From what? Torox. What's that? His enemy. They have been fighting since time started. That is an interesting story, Lisa says. It is. Mr. Squigglyarms has seen amazing things. I bet he has. Listen, honey. Someone's coming over to see us. A visitor? Cindy asked. Yes. I need you not to tell her anything about Mr. Squigglyarms, okay? Like a secret? Just like a secret. Can you do that for me? Sure can. That's my girl. Go wash up. Dinner will be ready soon. Cindy hugs her mom and runs inside. Lisa picks up her daughter's drawing. It seemed like the cartoon eyes were staring right at her. 2 days later, the doorbell rings. Lisa spent the morning cleaning up, making sure everything was spick and span. Lisa asked the woman at her door, carrying a briefcase. Miss Woodhull. Pleasure to meet you. Likewise. Please call me June. May I come in? Yes, of course. June walks in. This is a beautiful home. Thank you. Cindy, Miss Woodhull is here. Cindy comes down the stairs. She stands in front of Miss Woodhull and smiles. Hello. Hello, Cindy. Nice to meet you. The three of them sit down in the living room. The interview lasts about an hour. Finally, June opens her briefcase. It has been a pleasure talking to you and your mother. I just have a couple questions, however. Sure, Cindy answers. Tell me about Mr. Squigglyarms. Oh, he's nice. He's my friend. June pulls out some drawings and lays them on the table. They were all pictures of violence, fire, destruction, people running for their lives. In the back was a black figure. Some pictures were of whole planets being destroyed. In some of the pictures, the planets were surrounded by pure blackness. He doesn't seem nice, Cindy. That's him in the background, correct? He is nice. That all happened while he was fighting Torox. Who is Torox? Asked June. His sworn enemy. Horax wants to destroy everything. He wants to be the sole occupant of all the dimensions. I see. Thank you, Cindy, June says, standing up. Miss Woodhull, Cindy has a vivid imagination. I think one day she'll be a writer. Be that as it may, such a dark and violent imagination is a result from trauma from real life. I am going to recommend that Cindy receive therapy while an investigation is conducted. You can't do that, Lisa says. I can. We take the safety and welfare of children very seriously. No normal imagination could produce such dark imagery. June gets up to leave. When she gets near the door, Cindy stands up and turns to her. Stop, she says, her voice now ethereal sounding and echoing. Look at me. June turns against her will. Fear is in her eyes. From Cindy's eyes comes a pale purple light that fills the room. You will give a satisfactory report of this day. I will give a satisfactory report, says June. You will make sure this won't happen again. It will not happen again, she says. You will forget what has happened here. I will forget. Leave, now. June walks out the front door. She gets into her car and leaves. The purple light disappears and Cindy falls to the floor. A week later, Lisa is sitting on the stairs in the house. She had kept Cindy home from school the last week. She was feeling better, but she slept for the first 2 days. There was a knock on the door. Lisa stands up and opens it. Standing in the doorway is a priest. Thank you for coming, Father. Of course, my child. The priest walks in. Tell me what is going on. I'm worried, Father. Something has taken over my daughter. They sit down. Tell me more. When did this start? Not too long ago. At first, it was innocent. Just stories of her new friend, Mr. Squigglyarms. Mr. Squigglyarms? That is his name. Please, Father, help us. Let me go talk to her. Then we'll go from there. Where is she? Upstairs, in her room. Lisa leads the father upstairs. They stop at Cindy's bedroom door. The priest puts a hand on Lisa's arm. This is highly unusual. Normally, the exorcism protocols are rigid. Typically, it would be months before I would come here. But I find your daughter's situation fascinating, and I will help you in any way I can. Thank you, Father, Lisa says. The priest smiles and opens the door. Inside, Cindy is sleeping on her bed. Lisa walks over and gently wakes her up. Wake up, sweetheart. Someone is here to see you. Cindy opens her eyes. They instantly go to the priest. Who is that? Father David. He wants to talk to you. The priest turns to Lisa. May we have a moment? I'll be just outside, Lisa says as she leaves. Father David looks at Cindy. Tell me about your friend. I don't really want to. Nobody but my mom believes me. Father David smiles. Try me. I'm a good listener. No. That's fine. May I pray before we talk? That's fine, Father. Father David kneels by the bed. Dear Heavenly Father, bless us this day. Protect us from evil. Father David stops when he hears chuckling, deep and ethereal sounding. He looks up and sees a pale purple light coming out of Cindy's eyes. So you believe I'm evil? Yes. You are a servant of Satan. God's love will prevail. Is that what you call him? You know that. I do not. I am above the things you worship. There is nothing bigger than God. Cindy leans forward. I assure you, there are many things bigger than your God. Many things. These are the devil's lies. It is the truth of all things. Your kind will never know how truly insignificant you are in the great scheme of things. Then why are you here? Because Torax is coming here. Nothing more. He must think that we are significant to come here. You are nothing more than his next stop. He randomly found this place. Nothing more. With God's help, I will cast you out. Cindy leans around. Where is this God? He is all around us. Yet he isn't here. I am here. If I was such a threat, then why isn't he here? God works in mysterious ways. Does he now? Yes. Or perhaps he knows where he stands in the normal order of things. That is blasphemy, Father David sternly says. Or truth. Let me show you the true truth of things. You have sought enlightenment your whole life. I will give you what you seek. Cindy's eyes glow brighter. She stands on her bed, and Father David slowly rises in the air. His jaw becomes slack, and drool starts dripping out the corner of his mouth. See how vast everything is. Not this dimension, but everything. The priest's eyes widen. Feel the expanse of nothingness. Cindy's eyes stop glowing. Both her and the father fall. Father David starts crying as Lisa comes in. Father, are you all right? The priest weeps. We are nothing. Our essence is beyond fragile. Lisa turns to Cindy. She smooths her hair and positions her properly on the bed. Father David stands up. What do I do, Father? Nothing, the priest says. There is nothing you can do for her except be there. There is no church, no government, no other institution that can help you now. The priest goes to the door and opens it. Excuse me. I'm going to have to pray for what it's worth. It's all I have left. Goodbye. Lisa sits down next to her daughter and begins to cry. The months go by and Lisa learns to adapt to the situation at hand. Since that night with the priest, Cindy has shown no signs of her friend, aside from her talking to him. Always when she was alone, and mostly at night as she looked at the stars. Lisa also noticed a difference in Cindy's behavior. Nothing bad, just different. In many ways, Cindy was still Cindy, but now she seemed calmer. Lisa could never really put her finger on it, but it seemed like there was this wisdom in Cindy's eyes now, as if she knew more than most people would ever learn. It all made Lisa uneasy. She felt Cindy's life was her own, but at the same time, Mr. Squigglyarms never really shown any malevolent behavior, and by extension, neither did Cindy. It was near the end of winter, and the wind was howling. Forecasters said that this was probably the last storm of the season, and winter wasn't giving up without a fight. The long night settled in, and Lisa had just put Cindy to bed. After that, Lisa sat on the couch and watched the snow blow and the howling wind. Lisa started to doze off when there was a slam at the front door. Lisa got up to investigate and saw the door was knocked open. It hit Lisa and knocked her to the ground. She looks up and saw a figure standing in the doorway. Lisa froze as the figure walked in and slapped her. You think you could hide from me forever? Leave, Billy. Billy squatted down and grabbed Lisa by the throat. Leave? I just got here. Where is my daughter? Asleep. You leave her alone. Billy slaps Lisa in the face a couple times. You uppity bitch. You know that was always your problem. You always thought you were better than me. With your fancy lawyer job, your fancy friends. Bitch, you ain't better than me. You hear me? You have to leave. There is a restraining order. One your judge buddy gave you. Get up, bitch. Billy lifted Lisa up and hit her several times in the body. I am not leaving here without my daughter. Alone. He lets go of Lisa, and she falls and catches herself on the back of the couch. Billy reaches in his coat pocket and pulls out a knife. He takes a couple steps, but is stopped by a purple light behind him. What? What's going on? I feel weird. Lisa watched in horror as Billy slowly came apart, atom by atom. When he was gone, there was only Cindy behind him. The light dimmed until her eyes barely glowed. Lisa went to her daughter. What did you make my daughter do? Cindy just looked at her for a moment, then answered. I did this. Cindy will have no memory of what happened here. What happened to Billy? He is no more. Where did he go? Nowhere. He was undone. The chilling thought of this admission traveled down Lisa's spine. Bring my daughter back. Tomorrow, when she wakes up, you must carry this body back. Her sense memory will remember and keep her calm. Lisa picked up Cindy. Her eyes stayed steadily, constantly looking Lisa in the eyes. Why did you save me? Lisa asked as she started walking up the steps. You protect Cindy. Cindy's safety is paramount. She must be safe until it's time. Safe for what? My arrival. Why her? She is attuned to my frequency of consciousness. Nothing more, nothing less. Lisa enters Cindy's bedroom. She lays Cindy down on the bed and puts the covers on her. Very good. You shall see Cindy in the morning. Cindy closes her eyes, and Lisa is left alone in the dark. The winter gave way to spring. Lisa was hanging out laundry to dry. Since the last incident, Lisa had decided to homeschool Cindy for the rest of the year. She had done very well and was a bit ahead of her studies. Lisa had made the change when Cindy had changed her behavior. Instead of talking to the night sky, she would stop and mumble to herself, sometimes for hours on end. Lisa looks up to see dark clouds on the horizon. Funny, she thought. There wasn't supposed to be a thunderstorm today. The wind picks up. Lisa starts taking the clothes off the line as Cindy walks by, walking towards the storm. Cindy, get back inside. Cindy stops and looks back. She is smiling. It's time, Mommy. Wish us luck. Lisa ran towards her daughter. When she gets near, a purple force field goes up and knocks her back. The tornado sirens go off in the distance as the storm clouds reach the farm. Lightning strikes, but instead of flashing, it stays for a second or two. Cindy stops walking and stands in the field. There is a vicious lightning storm, and it looks like the sky was starting to crack open. From the fissure crawled out a monstrosity of impossible size. It was hairy, and its fur seemed to constantly move. There was no eyes, just a mouth. It had a basic humanoid shape, but that was the only feature Lisa recognized. A purple light shined from Cindy's eyes. Torox roared as the blackness started coming from the purple light. The blackness moved like a snake and gathered itself. It too took on a humanoid shape. but its body moved as tendrils of blackness constantly grew and shrank back into its body. Cindy stood in the field, her mouth open, and a thin stream of purple light connected her to Mr. Squigglyarms. The two eternal enemies attacked. The fight was disorienting to watch. They both seemed to move, yet stand still. Lightning flashed every time they made contact. The ground started to shake, and the wind howled. Suddenly, Mr. Squigglyarms shot out an infinite amount of tendrils. They all went into the body of Torox. The creature shook, and then exploded, and then instantly, everything went calm. Lisa stood and watched Mr. Squigglyarms move. His head disappeared into his body and came out the back. It stretched until its featureless face took up Lisa's entire field of vision. It is done. Is Torox really dead? Yes. Finally, I have triumphed. Cindy was instrumental in this. She is a special girl. She is, Lisa replied, crying. Cindy was picked up and moved by Mr. Squigglyarms. She was gently put down in front of Lisa, the light still connecting the two. Now what? Asked Lisa. Now you returned your life. I shall not return. Where will you go? There may be others that want to destroy all things. I shall search for them. Are you going to say goodbye to Cindy before you leave? In my own way. Goodbye, Mother of Cindy. Mr. Squigglyarms disappears in a purple light. Cindy lays there and her eyes slowly open. Lisa runs over and cradles her daughter's head. After a few moments, Cindy looks to her mom. Hi, Mommy. Hi, sweetheart. The next time your child talks to their imaginary friend, be careful. There may be more going on than you realize.